So what I wanted to discuss is some things that I have been cutting out. And this is not a New Year's resolution. I've already done these things. I've been doing it throughout the last couple of years. And it's allowed me to be able to really operate at a level much higher than I would have operated if I didn't stop these habits. Right? Okay. So the first habit is gossiping. Gossiping. Oh my gosh. It really, the reason why I had to stop is because I ended up getting myself into a situation where if I had kept my mouth shut, I wouldn't have even been in that situation. But now that I know better, I do better. I'm not about to tell anyone else's business, even if I feel justified in doing so. It's not my business to tell. And even that, telling my own business to everybody. Oh yeah, I had to stop that. Because the thing is, people will take whatever you say and it will construct how they think about you in their mind. So now they treat you a certain way based on what you've told them. So if I'm sitting up there telling you all my business, now you treating me this way and you seeing me this way. When I actually switch and I'm not doing those things that I used to do anymore, you still have the mentality that I'm not old Fantasia. But if I just tell you just enough, and when I say just enough, I mean like the regular stuff. Oh, so what's your plans for today? Oh, well, I don't have that many plans, blah, 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 blah. Just regular stuff. I can tell you regular stuff. But every time anything used to happen in my life, I used to run. I had to tell somebody. You don't have to tell nobody. You could be quiet. If it's something good, you need to be telling God, thanks, I appreciate it. And if it's something bad, you need to be telling God, God, I need it. I need you. That's what needs to be going on. And then after you had that conversation with God, your guides, the universe, I always just refer to God as God. But of course, I know that God is energetic. So God has a lot of different names. I'll leave it like that. But after you get done talking to God, you don't feel the need to run and tell somebody else your business or anybody else's. Because if somebody's telling me, and that's another thing, I stopped listening to gossip. So I stopped gossiping, but I stopped listening to it too. And that's important because a lot of times we feel like, well, I'm not doing anything wrong. That person gossiping. I'm just sitting here listening. You don't need to listen. Because what you're going to want to do once you get some good tea, girl, I want to spill this tea. Ooh, I wish I had somebody to tell. So maybe you just need not listen to the tea at all. I've had so many times when I was breaking the habit of gossiping, where I would be like, oh, how you doing? Or what's going on? And I'd be talking to a friend at the time. And they'd be like, oh, well, I'm doing good. But let me tell you, hold on. Because that transition sounds like it ain't even about you. It sounds like you about to tell me somebody else's business. So then I'll let them go into their little sentence or two. Yeah, so you remember so-and-so? Well, I don't care. I don't care. And I would really say this, and it will sound harsh, but it's not. It's truthful. I don't care. I don't care what so-and-so got going on in their life. Why? Because whether her life is good or bad, mine is still mine, and I still got work to do on me. So I don't care what's going on in so-and-so life. Right? That's one. Two, because if you sitting up there telling me so-and-so business, oh, you best to believe so-and-so probably hearing all of my business from you. That's two. That's another thing. Separating yourself from people who are not trying to do the same thing. That might feel difficult, but it's definitely something you have to do. You can't know who you are until you're alone. And there are some people that will respect it and be like, oh, she's doing her own thing. She's trying to get herself together. That's her. Allow her to have her space. But there are some people that will genuinely feel as though you switched up or you don't like them anymore. Those people, I'm be truthful. Even after you explain a situation, which you shouldn't even have to explain yourself when it comes to your own work within yourself. But even after you explain the situation, you still got to take some distance. Even after you're done taking distance for self-improvement purposes, take distance from those type of people. Because those type of people make problems instead of looking at the solution. Oh, so-and-so ain't hanging out with me anymore. I wonder why. I should reach out and I should invite them over and maybe we could talk about it. But instead, you hear from a different person entirely. Oh, so-and-so said that you switched up and that you don't rock with them no more, so they just stopped rocking with you. Now you got imaginary beef with a person and you ain't even do nothing to them. No. Those type of people, go ahead and dismiss them from your life because it's going to save you a lot of trouble anyway. Because when you sitting up there doing the work that you got to do on yourself, you don't got time to sit up there and pacify people who really just want to create problems. And that's the thing. Some people are self-sabotagers to a degree that is wild. You don't want to be with no self-sabotager because any self-sabotager will sabotage you too without even realizing it. You getting a great opportunity. Well, I don't know if I would do that. Yeah, you probably wouldn't because you sabotage yourself every step of the way. That means I need to do it because your advice, I got to take the opposite. Another habit that I stopped doing, being so hard on myself. Oh my gosh. I grew up in a religious setting. I had a very critical parent. I just felt I was a very, like I was a, a people pleaser. Like I was such a big people pleaser that I always was hard on myself. I felt like anytime I did anything wrong, anytime I didn't do anything to like the perfection that it should be in my mind, I've just dropped the ball and it's just horrible. I don't do that anymore. Now, I have times where I do get back hard on myself and I'm still breaking that habit. But it's so much better now because I sit down and I remind myself, you're not perfect. You're on this earth to grow. Why would something that's perfect have to grow? You don't have to grow if you're perfect. So calm yourself down. Yes, you did something that was a little bit, a wise person wouldn't have done that. Now you're wise because you won't do it again, right? So you've gained wisdom. So you took a lesson, but you never took an L. Now I'm nicer. And I used to do that when it came to a lot of different things. And now I just pull back and I say, look, if this is what you want to do, if this is what you need, if this is the route that you're going, I don't give myself permission to make bad decisions, but I give myself grace. Meaning, if I do make a bad decision, especially if I know it's a bad decision, but I just feel like I don't feel like being, I don't feel like I have the strength to do the right choice. Because I've done that sometimes. It'll be petty stuff, though. Never nothing big. I'll never deliberately just be like, this is a horrible decision. I'm going to do it. But there has been times where I've been like, there's a better way to do this. That takes a lot more effort. I'm going to do it this way. It might blow up in my face. That's cool. That's cool. Sometimes it did. But because I already gave myself permission to go ahead and do it, I had to give myself permission to go ahead and take care of it. That means that if somebody comes to me like, hey, this, that, and the other, and you did it, you better go ahead and just own up to what you did. That's it. And that's another thing. I stopped trying to skirt around my decisions. My decisions are my decisions. They might affect other people, but they're mine to make. So I'm not going to sit up there and hide or cower behind my decisions. I'm going to own them. That's just a couple habits that I've broken that have allowed me to just be more authentic to myself. If you have any of those habits that I used to have or that I'm currently breaking, I strongly suggest that you go ahead and let those habits go.